Good evening. This is Brimster back after a power failure in the last session. So I went, the house came back on battery, but I didn't want to drain the battery too quickly. We're now back on full mains. So yeah, that's what happened. So apologies to people who were watching and wondered what happened. Power went out. Lost all my potions. I was going to go do some hell tides, I think. So what I might do is run an incense and an elixir of advantage. Now there'll be no hell tide up. Oh, there is. No, there's not. There can't be. Okay, there is. Well, let's go here.
Off we go again.
Slay the Blood Maiden. I thought that always appeared where the Blood Maiden was summoned, but apparently not. Hey, Keith. Feeling a little bit better, yeah. Like, I won't say I'm feeling great, but I'm feeling a bit better now that I've had something to eat. It can't be right, can it?
See what you've learned.
Harbingers don't seem to spawn as much as they used to, do they? This will do it. Whew. Blast trappers, iron rain, bone weave, sly steps, stick of thought, and frosty strides.
It is done.
And there is something in my stash.
The forge is ready. I can break that down.
Bless you.
What is this? Ah. What is going on? I don't even know where I summon the Blood Maiden now. I would have thought it was up here. But I'm not seeing the items to summon the Blood Maiden. So I don't know what's going on.
Quite the challenge.
Excellent. That'll be much more interesting than watching me play Diablo 4. To be honest with you, I'm tempted to stop and watch Fel play, stream No Man's Sky, but I'm not going to. I'm instead going to play more Diablo 4 for a bit.
Impressive. Unfortunately.
People could watch both, but I'm not going to watch Fel while I'm doing this. I think that would be a little bit tricky. Okay. Bag full of junk except for possibly the condemnation.
You can come back if you need the forge.
And I want to look at, of course, it's reloaded all the pages. I had a power outage. One, two, three. And all of those get boosted by that. I need a bunch more dexterity. I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that. That'll get me there. So a few more levels. Excellent. Okay, potions are done. Ah, that's right. I wanted to travel to Kedbadu. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Cosmetic trophy. What, I've got 2 and she's got 1? Bell will do fine.
This shield you forged.
I could teach you how to forge your own shield, little man.
I'd rather you just get.
Did I count it out right?
Oh, that's not fair.
I like seeing what Papa's friends collect.
I am using expectant, but that's a minimum roll expectant.
Add that, carry the 1.
Gauntlets. Dexterity and maximum life. Okay. I can't keep ignoring these. And crit strike chance. Okay, those are too good. So... let's try and temper. Offensive. Yeah, it says crit strike damage. And utility. I want chance to stun for 2 seconds. There's the crit strike damage. Chance to stun. So on these, I want arrow storms. And ideally, I want... actually, I don't really care. crit strike chance. That'll do. Dexterity. That'll do. And I just used absolutely all of my Opusite, but that's okay. So it was probably a dumb thing to do. So that's Wild Beast. That's... Okay, so on the hat, which I do want to use, the first thing I want to do is turn the thorns into anything better. That'll do. Then I want to temper. And as this is temporary, haha, see what I did there? Utility. Stun, great. And defensive. Let's try and get something like total armor. I shouldn't have said what I wanted, should I? Hey, Butterfly. I'll point out, Butterfly, Felinae is streaming No Man's Sky. So it's back and qua.
Very well. Oh, I could do Pock Mott. What about Tam and Om?
I could do Om. So actually, let's redo this.
Fashion this into something exquisite. You can still use these.
Okay, so for one of them, I want Tam. Well, I want Pock and Mott. Pock. And Mott. And the other one, Tam and Om. But I don't have Tam. But I do have Om. And instead of Tam, let's use back. Let's see how that goes. So what do I want to do now? How am I going for consumables? Let's make some more incense. And elixir of advantage 2. This is done.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay. So let's run. Ooh, I also want to put these in there. And that can go there. And that can go there. Oh, these now stack. What's the difference? Oh, that. That's cool. Okay. Okay. Let's do a Whispering Wood. You're fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops your mind from wondering where it will go. It's scary how I'm still in Torment 2 and I'm almost at the point of leaving all non-ancient legendaries behind. Oh dear.
A fine deal.
Got to be through here. headless. What a surprise. Soul brand is not the armor I'm looking for.
How can I help? Come back if you need the forge. The forge is ready for whatever you need.
The bleeding root hold. Flames rain upon you. I don't like it, but I'll take it. I don't want double flames, so let's do that one. Oh, there was one.
still use these.
A fine deal. Come back and see us.
Come back and see me sometime. Triple ancestral boots. Okay. This guy is absolutely going to be headless. See? Yeah, but go to the jeweler to craft this gem. But in order to craft the gem, you need to have the head items. And I've never had a head drop. So what good is that? Poison res. I'm marking that as junk. And I'm putting the air conditioning back on. Even though I'm barely wearing pants. Adaptability and elements.
Very good. Thank you.
I don't think I'm using adaptability. I know I'm not using elements. I am not. So let's do a dungeon.
I'm with you, friend.
Yes, you are. That's the point. I burned through all my obusite on one item. It was very dumb of me. Like, incredibly dumb of me. It was the dumbest way to spend the obusite I had. It's fine. I'm not a clever person. Oceans rise and empires fall. It's weird how spoiled I am with Hamilton. I mean, it's not weird, but it... But I've definitely spoiled myself with Hamilton. I am so used to the live performance now that when I hear the recording, it feels flat. But it's all I've got now. I am so happy for Full Deck and missing a few cards who get to see it live today. Not only that, the cast they're seeing, if they get the principal cast of, if they get the person who's principal for Burr, they're going to get the person playing Burr who was the person I first saw playing Burr. He's one of the American performers who, when Sydney started up, he came out to advise, I suppose is the best way to put it. So he came out and spent, I think it was 3 weeks in quarantine, so he could then come and help out the Australian cast, because with every other cast there'd been someone who knew the show, who'd shown them how to do it, and Australia was the only production that could run at the time, because we were the only country that had theatre open in the world, because we'd had really strict lockdowns during COVID. And because we had really strict lockdowns, our COVID was way lower than anywhere else in the world. And because of that, we were able to come out of lockdown a lot earlier and open up major events much faster than anyone else, basically. And Jimmy JJ Jetta came out to be a swing for the Australian cast, and when I saw the show, he was the first for the first 2 shows. I flew to Sydney, saw the show once and saw him as Burr, flew back a few months later to see the show. This was back when I figured I'd go and I'd see the show once in a trip to Sydney. How crazy was I? And I remember having a discussion with Fel at the time saying, should I see if I could get tickets and go see it twice? And it was like, oh, maybe that's going overboard. Anyway, so both the first 2 times I saw it, I saw Jimmy as Burr, and he's the principal in the show that they will be seeing, which I think is awesome. Because his Burr was the one that made us fall in love with the live performance of Burr. We've seen lots of Burrs since, including ones that are as good. But just absolutely brilliant. Hang on. I've got the wrong thing on the helm. Because I replaced the helm, but I forgot to enchant it. Most of them really are more gold, aren't they? Yes, Phil is streaming No Man's Sky. Why are you here, Ignition?
I hope whatever's here puts up a good fight.
I reheated some spicy Mexican beef, I suppose is the way you would call it. Like, I think any real Mexican would go, that is not Mexican beef, but it was what was in the recipe, and it was very nice. I enjoyed it. And then I had, while we were watching Harley Quinn, I had some popcorn because I wanted it. And then I had considered making myself a coffee, and I decided, you know what? I am going to stick to water. And regret it. Because I really wish I had a nice coffee. But I'm okay. Well, if she's talking about depth, she's definitely not referring to me. Oceans rise, empires fall.
The killers are likely still about. If I can find them, I might learn what I need to know.
kind of getting all of them.
Glad I helped. I need to make amends for much.
Ooh. YouTube is not receiving enough information, but it's not dropping frames, so I don't know what's going on. It's still saying it's not receiving enough information, but I'm assuming the stream is looking okay. Oh well. Chest armor. Razor plate. Well, that's garbage. Going down, down, down into the depths. Not all dungeons are created equal, are they? This is one long dungeon. That was a very long dungeon. But I kind of enjoyed it. Maximum life and crit strike damage. That's got to be better than what I'm using, doesn't it? Although I think the sword Yeah,
Come back if you need the forge.
A fine deal.
ooh. No, razor plate. I'm going to trash razor plate.
There's all right. Very rubbish. Very nice. Very nice. Another.
Don't ruin all that work.
Don't lose your head. Tried to elope, but the Pope said nope. Our only hope was Henry. Need more spawns for guard to happen quickly. This is going to take forever at this rate.
I'll be gone, vermin. Away, fiend!
I'm only just halfway. Problem is, I think I cleared this area and then found the guard who then walked back in the area I just cleared. Although they should spawn faster than this.
I will not fall! Oh, will you help me, stranger? Away, fiend! I'll be gone, vermin! I'll be gone, vermin! Thank you, stranger.
It still may be faster to just go back to the Tree of Whispers.
It is done.
Poor souls.
Is that why mosquitoes always attracted to me? Because honestly, flies and mosquitoes always seem to bug me. So obviously I just stink. This isn't news, I suppose. Why can't I learn that crafting recipe? I must already have it. These need to stack to a larger amount. This is just crap.
Welcome to my home away from home.
Bless and thank you.
I couldn't complete it because it expired just before I got to the boss. That kind of sucks, doesn't it?
The forge is ready for whatever you need. But don't ruin all that work.
Come back and see us.
I can break that down.
A fine deal. Another time, then.
Okay. Let's try Avarshan. Does anything drop from him that I want? Yes. Yes, it does. So this could be good, actually. Should have done this earlier. This is assuming I can do it. There we go. Yeah. So crit strike damage is what I want. The unique effect has rolled well. Chance for a marksman to go twice is rolled close to minimum. Attack speed is okay. Ranks to stutter step is okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, don't think I did. I definitely got hit a lot.
Beware the envious, my friend. Wear the stars around your neck. Fashion this into something exquisite. How can I help?
Now is where the gamble comes in. What I really want to get masterworked is the crit strike damage.
Never seen something finer.
Attack speed will do. Stutter step. That's not great, but I'll take it. Okay, that'll do for now. What am I going to do now? Now, actually, I want to check. It's not saying I can do Kedbadu, so I want to run some dungeons and try... let's put that away. Getting that is good. Actually, that's very good for when I get up to... Don't like suppressor on this build. Don't like suppressor on this build, even if it's got XP.
Don't dally. Hand it over. Another happy customer.
Mosquitoes are the one creature on Earth that are incredibly harmful to mankind, harmful to the ecosystem, and to my understanding, science has never found a positive from their existence. Actually, no, there are other creatures, but there is nothing that is quite as harmful as the mosquito that we've not found a positive. The mosquito is probably one of the most deadly creatures ever in the history of the world. I never said mosquitoes were malicious. They're just incredibly deadly. Ooh, that's an interesting question, Spectro. I would say yes, but I have the advantage of moderate amounts of disposable income. And a YouTube channel, not this one, that pays for my games. So I've definitely enjoyed Vessel of Hatred. I think the campaign was poor, but I think some of the features they've added with it have definitely been worth it. The new regions and everything. Yeah, I would say yes. Depending on how much enjoyment you get from this style of game. If you're looking for a casual ARPG with lots of fun, yes, absolutely. And I got a double whammy from it, from the fact that
Have enough here to lure out a few. Care to join the hunt?
I got a double whammy from the fact that I bought the special edition, and lots of people were saying, but you pay like $40 extra for the special edition. But with that, I got $40 worth of platinum. And that means that I don't need to pay for the premium battle passes for basically the length of the entire expansion. So it was like, cool. It comes with free premium battle, well, not free, but it means that not only do I get the bonuses that come with the collector's edition, which I don't think is available anymore, but I'm talking about my purchasing value. It meant that I got that double whammy. Is it worth it? I would say yes. I don't know if it's ever gone on sale or anything. I imagine it's going to. I don't know how much it costs now. I definitely paid full price, but I really enjoyed it. I've had fun. I mean, for me, the Spiritborn was broken. That helped. I played the season where the Spiritborn was completely busted.
With all this, we can draw out one of the big
And that's powered that up.
Do you hear that? Right. That's it. Take this for your troubles.
Yeah, I suppose the big question is, what are you looking for? If you're looking for something like Path of Exile, no. If you're looking for more Diablo content that is kind of fun, yeah, it is. If you do your game value based on how much time I'm going to get per dollar spent, I absolutely did. Like, I played the Vessel of Hatred stuff for 100 hours already, and I've done 20 or so. Actually, I've probably done more than 20. I've probably done close to 30 in this season, and I've got more to do. So yeah, I'm getting excellent value out of it. I think the mercenaries have been really nicely done. I think the loot system, I mean, there's lots of problems with the game. But compared to most other ARPGs, I think this one has a lot more, just pick up and play for an extended period of time. Last Epoch, I think, is the ARPG with the most potential. But Last Epoch at the moment, I think, is really, really good for about 20 hours per character. After which the game just jumps off a cliff. Like, it then becomes... like, it turns from a 9.5 out of 10 to a 2.5 out of 10 in less than 5 hours. Like between 25 and 30 hours, the game really does fall off a cliff. I have not tried Spiritborn this season, but I've heard it's still good. Like, it's not broken like it was last season, but I've heard it's still very playable. This season, I'm still in Torment 2. I've heard because I'm playing a B tier build and I don't rush normally. I'm just enjoying doing this. Like, I'm not feeling like, oh my God, I'm not in Torment 4 already. I must be terrible. I'm probably terrible, but I'm having fun in Torment 2. So, yay me. I'm also not well today. So, I'm probably doing terribly with this.
Bless and thank you.
I just want to stress about loot not much at all, so I'm just making everything go away. So I've heard Spiritborn is fun. So this is the fugitive heads and the altars. Great. So I would, if you're interested in trying Spiritborn, I mean, as I said, it's not as broken as it was, but I've heard it's much more balanced and still a lot of fun. And one of the things I really liked about Spiritborn is there were so many different ways of playing it. I mean, the broken builds, there kind of wasn't, because all the broken builds, there were like 4 broken builds, so several of the options were like, don't do this because it's not one of the broken builds. And the broken builds were so overpowered that it just felt amazing. And there was a lot of concern that Spiritborn would feel terrible after it had been so broken that literally people like me, terrible players, could do content that I will probably never be able to do again unless they break another build, because it was just so busted. Like, it was ridiculously broken. Like, bugs that were causing you to do 1,000,000 times as much damage as some of the numbers I heard. Don't know if it's true, but it was definitely like doing way more than it should. Like, definitely thousands of times more damage than it should. So there was a lot of concern about, is it going to feel broken? Because people are used to it having this huge power fantasy. And people who are playing it are going, no, it doesn't. So they're saying they're still enjoying it. So I think that's a really good sign that they've probably got the balance right. And I think that's a good thing. There's a couple of things this season that I'm going, I think they've pushed the RNG too far. But that's a seasonal thing, and I think that's a little unfortunate. I still feel that the people who do most of the builds that people follow, I follow a build. I'm not really, I don't want to spend all of my gaming time. I run 2 YouTube channels, this being one of them, so, you know, this one's low stress, but I run another YouTube channel that takes a fair bit of effort, and I work for a living as well, so I don't want to spend all my time theory crafting builds. I just want to steal someone else's build and, you know, play something that's going to work. So Maxroll, who do most of the builds, are still incredibly guilty of designing builds assuming that everyone has unlocked everything. So, for example, their leveling build for Rogue was telling people to use an ability that comes from an altar that you find when running dungeons. So a witch power for this season that you get from running running dungeons. You can find altars while running dungeons, and two of the powers they wanted you to use while leveling come from those powers. The problem is I'm now Paragon 135, so I'm a fair way through the game. Like, I'm not halfway. I'm not even a quarter of the way. I'm probably only like 15% of the way through the leveling grind, maybe less. But I'm halfway through the season, and I'm halfway through the battle pass, and I've seen one altar. So assuming that I've got the 2 powers I need from the altars for leveling is just, they just assume that everyone has unlocked everything. So Maxroll, the people who build the guides are just elitist assholes. Every single one of them. But their guides are still good. You just have to work around the fact that they assume that everyone has unlocked everything, even though you won't have. It's just the way it works, unfortunately. So I mean, I don't know if you enjoy theory crafting or not, and making your own builds. If you do, there's a lot of good stuff to be had with the witch powers and the mercenary builds that come in Vessel of Hatred and all of that. There's a lot of really good fun stuff to have. There's a lot of new aspects to play with and a lot of new powers. With the Spiritborn, being able to play with the 4 different aspects and picking which one you want to use. Yeah, all really good. Whereas I found that Path of Exile I bounced off. I bought early access with like quite a bunch of upgrades for the Path of Exile 2, and I ended up playing it for about 10 hours before I realized, this game is abusing its player base, and I stopped. Last Epoch just has some end game issues where they love making their players feel bad. They love giving their players a really nice dopamine hit and then making them feel terrible about it after they actually do some investigation. Which for me is an instant, forget it then. Whereas Diablo is, you find a really good item, you use the really good item. And often and the thing with Diablo often is, this could be a really good item, but I couldn't be bothered looking at it. And you have the RNG chance of bricking the item. Last Epoch is different, which is, I get the really good item. It rolls exactly what I need, but I can't possibly equip it, because if I do, then I need in order to equip it, I need to farm up a completely new set of gear. And it's just, I'm like 20 hours from being able to use the really amazing item. Whereas Diablo, it's, okay, I've got the really good item. Is the RNG going to let me do it? Last Epoch has that as well, but it's got the, like, I need to succeed at like 8 random rolls before it becomes good. And if you succeed on those 8 random rolls, you could still potentially then just not be able to equip it because the rest of your gear needs to be completely redesigned around the new item. It's just a terrible feeling. Whereas in Diablo, if you get the good item, you just equip the good item. And if the RNG rolls work for you, congratulations, you got an upgrade. And that's a much more rewarding feeling. And you may fail, like you absolutely may fail and feel like, oh my God, I finally got an item that's really, really good. And then the random number generator will say, nope, actually not for you. And that's a bad feeling, but it's a much less of a negative than Last Epoch. And Path of Exile is using the a different mechanic, which is kind of worse, which is, yeah, not good. You got me in rant mode. That was dumb. Sorry, that came out. I've been sick today, and I'm a bit more saying it was dumb. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. Why is anyone still listening to me? Did I answer your question at any point in that rant? I get the feeling I didn't. I mean, I think the big thing is I haven't played Spiritborn, so I can't specifically... speak to it. So I'm speaking anecdotally. Brimster gains. I'm not responsible for your bad eating habits. I mean, I kind of probably am, but...
Come back and see us.
There's a reason why I'm trying to drink water rather than the iced coffee I wanted. I think I scared Spectro away. My view count's gone down quite significantly. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, that happens. I think everyone did. People don't understand the psychology that they're using. And it's actually not a good thing. If it was just gaming addictive behavior, it's like, well, every company does that, I get it. But it's not. It's way worse than that. As I said, if you we've all heard the stories about domestic abuse victims who, when it comes down to, you know, law enforcement or people turning around and saying, is there a problem here? They defend their abusers. It's the same thing. It's what's going on. It's the same psychology. They're triggering the same behavior responses. And it's really, really uncomfortable to watch. And the number of people who turn around and go, you know, how could abuse victims stay with their abusers? And yet when it comes to something exactly the same sort of behavior being triggered in a situation like this, they're perfectly accepting of it. Now, I want PoE 2 to change because I want to play it. But I can't in its current state. And what's really scary is I've known so many really intelligent people. Well, I've known a couple of really intelligent people who have gotten into situations where they've been in abusive relationships and they've supported their abuser because there's this weird emotional effect at play. And so I don't think the players are dumb. I just really don't like that the company is deliberately doing this. But yeah, I mean, being honest about something like this is never going to be popular. And I'm not even talking specifically about the... I mean, it is the aspects that they've put in the game that are the problem. But it's the stuff that they do to the players that is, and the behaviors they get the players to do to themselves. So it's the reinforced negative emotional loop feedback. Have a good one, Butterfly. Hope the healing continues to be good. Oops, I was too quick to try and keep the shrine bonus running. Wait, there's two animacerns? Curious now about what the other one was. Were both dispelled? I'm curious, you know? Ah, it's just two ways in. That's right. I remember now. Money, 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 money. Ooh, this stream's been 2.5 hours. This one has not felt like... The last one I think was 1.5 hours and felt really long. This one's been 2.5 hours and has not felt long at all. What's to bet I left a corpse pile behind in the other direction? No, maybe not. Or maybe. You are welcome, Chip. It was deserved. I hope you didn't find my solve of it terrible, because I definitely struggled with the colouring aspect, but I always do. There may have been another way through it, but I did not find it. I mean, I found the way I found. That's the way it works.
The open road is nice. I did miss civilization.
Kudos, Wanderer. Because of you, more celebrants can follow in your footsteps. The awakening is everywhere for the first time, not just in our humble corner. I've been seeing the spirit of this season on everyone's faces. That's all I ever wanted. Thank you. Gods, I can't wait for next year.
So the mount I get is called Tregul's Consort. So where's the stable master? Down here. Let's go have a look at Tregul's Consort.
You won't get far on foot. Let's deal.
I like it. And now, there's my resplendent spark. So there's a way of getting a resplendent spark, which is cool.
Ah, a warrior. How may I serve?
Decent value.
Whenever I find a puzzle tricky, I was about to say trickery because as I was going to say tricky, this appeared on screen. There's always someone who jumps into the comments to go, it was really easy and quote a really stupidly short time, which is of course what happened.
You need steelwork? Repairs?
that's that season journey done. I don't know if it now becomes repeatable if I do more. Apparently. So while it's running, I could potentially do more. That's not what I meant to do. What I meant to do was this. Yeah, I just don't care. People, I mean, I think it's, people love doing whatever they can to make other people feel terrible.
Without you, I'd be dead. I think I can manage from here. Please, take your saint.
Apparently I'm a saint. Maybe that's because I Roger Moore. I don't know the channel. Is it in English?
Bless you. Wouldn't have made it without you.
I mean, several people have suggested firing me out of a cannon, but I don't think that's what they meant. So apparently there's a YouTube feature coming quite soon, which is the ability to get auto translation on your channel. So if your channel is in English, it will auto translate the audio to German. You'll be listening to a different voice. Like, you won't be listening to the voice of the person who's doing it, of course, but it will take their words, use the subtitles, and then basically do an audio reading in your preferred language, which I think is great. And that's supposedly coming quite soon, and may even work for streamers, which I think is phenomenal. Because there's a couple of Sudoku solvers that I'd love to watch and promote more, but they're not in English. Whereas if you could promote their stream and say, by the way, just translate it. It's a feature that apparently will need to be sort of turned on. And I keep checking on Bremster Puzzles and it's not available. I imagine it's going to become available for Bremster Puzzles before it becomes available for Bremster Games. Probably. Subtle blues. Not doing a drifting shade. There is co-op. You can basically join up with people and do everything. I've done some streams where I've teamed up with Fel and we've done stuff together. It's happened a few times. Normally a couple of times per season. I've also done some streams with Doomjot in this game, though I think he's fairly heavily in PoE 2 at the moment, which is fine. So this is actually effectively a multiplayer game, but most people play it solo. They've done a few attempts to add multiplayer content, including this season, where they've added into the season journey that you have to do certain things in a party. And it's like, most people are like, why? I don't want to. So there's been a lot of negative pushback about that. But I've been running a lot of these dungeons, and the altars that I need to find these special powers, I found one of them.
I no longer know whether that horrific sound in the air of my mind will not be still since I can something. You hurt me so, didn't
I'm glad I chose to play the rogue this season. I've been enjoying this build.
The forge is always hot.
A fine deal.
How have they not fixed this yet? I'm clicking on it and it won't let me travel there. Like, you got to click on it 10 or 12 times for it to actually register that, no, I actually want to travel there, please. Yeah, I heard about this YouTube feature, which was apparently going to be starting to be rolled out early this year, and I am looking forward to it. Now that's got all my glyphs to 15, which is good. So I can mark them all off at 15. And I can mark I actually quite like that horse. Though I should go back to the black one. It suits what I've got. Oh no, I'm definitely not unstoppable. Have I died yet this season? I think I have. I think I died early on. I don't know if Chip is from the southern states of America. Isn't that where they just say things louder and slower? I mean, that's even if the people who they're talking to speak English. That's just a terrible joke, by the way. I've been watching way too much Florida Man humor. I know some incredibly smart people from Florida. One of the smartest people I know lives in Florida, so... Where'd all the mobs go? So, combat. There we go.
There are so many ways I can
What?
kill you.
Why is it not? That's supposed to be the... I'm going to do one more. I'm going to ramp it up one difficulty. And I'm going to try. That should unlock the next legendary power. How am I running for potions? Fine. That's going to unlock this, which is increased crit strike damage, trap skills. I don't think I'm using trap skill, am I? I don't know. So that's probably a bit pointless at this point. I'll need to look at respecking sometime soon. So I'm probably going to need to respec. I'm not playing the optimal leveling build. I probably need to redo. Because none of these are trap skills. So I think that's all based on the fact that I'm using a different build in Torment. So I need to change my build. But I'm enjoying this one, but I need to change my build. It's possible that I'm getting trap skill from somewhere else, and it is just going to work. I don't know.
Quite the challenge.
Feels like I'm doing more damage, doesn't it? That's midnight. I've lost my mouse cursor. There we go. So this is this glyph? No, this glyph. Nice. So when I get it to level 45, I'm going to do more crit strike damage as well. Nice. And when I get it to 46, the crit strike damage is going to go up again or something. Oh, it's going to be a radius increase, which will increase the amount of intelligence a little bit, I think. Doesn't matter. I'll get that and that. So, yeah. No, I have a point to spend, which I want to spend. Well, I've got that one. So I think now I'm heading down to the next. Yeah, I am. I'm heading down to the next board. So, you know, progressing. So it's worth pointing out there will be no regular puzzle videos over the weekend. There's going to be a new series that starts tomorrow, but there'll be no regular puzzle videos over the weekend. But I do need to start recording for next week. This has been a 3-hour stream. No, I don't think so. Puncture? I don't think so. What is it I am going to want? No. So, all junk,
I can break that
and then I sell all of
Carry
these.
the best. A fine deal.
Here we go. When I've got the Scoundrel's Kiss, I've got the Sky Hunter. The only thing I need is the Cowl of the Nameless, and I think I've got one in here. It's just not very good. See, there's a Cowl of the Nameless. Well, actually, it's not ancestral, but it's not terrible. It's +1 to all of the abilities, and it's got 40% increased lucky hit against crowd control enemies. So that is actually not terrible. So, you know, it's a thing. Would I actually equip that over that instead? Probably not. I might try the new build without the Cowl of the Nameless in the short term. Or I could go try and get a Cowl of the Nameless at some point. I don't know. But can I upgrade either of these? Ooh, I could possibly upgrade those emeralds.
Finest jewels in Sanctuary.
I think I've got one in the stash, actually. I do. I completely missed those.
Fashion this into something exquisite. stars guide you. Here you are.
My resistances are terrible.
That will come in handy.
How can I help? Don't ruin all that work.
We know. I'm going to put this into my stash until I do the respec. When I do the respec, that's what I want. Okay. Good. I need to do 1,700 Grim Favors. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm not going to wait 50 minutes for a world boss. I probably missed one in all that time. I'm going to call it there, I think. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you had fun. Today has been a bit rough, but I've had some fun with this one. It's definitely slowed right down. But, you know, yeah. Definitely slowed right down. They're saying there's something in the shop for this as well. Is that like they're giving... Sometimes they give away free stuff during events.
Let us consider the car.
Oh, no, there's stuff available for sale. That's kind of cool, but I don't think I want to pay for it. I don't like the look of that. Now, if we look at the rogue stuff... Oh, they've got new pets now. The goat is cool. So they've finally got new pets. Champions of the Silver City. So there's the rogue one. I don't like the look of it. Spiritborn, Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue. That's kind of cool, but I like what I have more. That's kind of cool. Don't need that. Don't need that. Sorcerer, Mounts. Okay, so the pets only appear. And I don't like most of these mounts either. So all of this stuff is just over the top, and I don't see the point in it. These are kind of cool. But, like, if you look at this guy,
Sound selection.
it's 2,500, which is quite a lot. And it comes with him, which is a very cool little pet. It comes with a mount trophy to make people who didn't get a Shava's horn get a horn. And it comes with that as a... I still don't feel the need. He's also kind of cute. That's a very nice mount thing. And it comes with that. I like that they've done that. There's some nice pets there. But I don't feel the need from them. This is actually quite a nice rogue set. That's a cool looking rogue set, actually. I like the mask. But I really like the one I've got. So, you know. And that's just a basic one with items. So, I'm cool. Yeah, I don't care. Well, because I think this looks just like a cool little rogue set. I think it looks... I really like it. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'm gonna go try and get some sleep. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'll play this, some No Man's Sky, do some recording, or even just stay in bed. We'll see. Thanks everyone, and as always, good luck fighting your Paradise Planet. Bye everyone.